Hi, Kalpun Pisu here. My brain is creating thoughts. The brain, by the way, and a lot of these people are very ignorant, the theists, the people that believe in intelligent designer, they cannot prove an intelligent designer exists. The intelligent designer is created by the brain, along with many deluded thinking, which is believing God is a product of the brain. We are born atheists, lacking belief. For the umpteenth time, people that believe in God and all this are deluded, retarded, and very extremely ignorant. Deal with it. Study science and then you'll realize there is no God. It's a product of infected, deluded, ignorant, lazy brains. They don't want to open any other book or read anything else. Here are the facts.
Of facts, which of course takes time to acquire, because each biological system is sort of an accident of evolution, and to understand it, you have to understand its unique circumstances and how this animal is different from this animal, and you have to just know molecular biology and biochemistry and neuroscience and psychology and a theory of evolution. So it requires a much larger number of facts to explain any given observation.
The deluded, ignorant morons that don't realize that we have a brain that creates thoughts, and when it's infected with the delusions of God, is retarded. Read this book. Read science. This is from Dr. Christoph Koch. Learn. And this book is by Christoph Koch, 2004. So as you see, it's a lot of more information that has been discovered. A lot since 2004. I mean, tons of information. So this has to be revamped by Dr. Koch. The man is brilliant. Neurobiological approach, quest for consciousness. And the thing is that we die at night when we lose consciousness, and we resurrect in the morning. We are a new person. We process all the information that we had before, and we resurrect in the morning. We regain consciousness. We're a new person again. So we're going to go through the whole thing until the sun goes down, until we go to bed, and lose consciousness again, and all that through our lives. Is creating information since the moment that we are born, and we get this spirit. The spirit is air in the lungs. In the moment that we exit out with the cave of creation of our mothers, we gain the spirit, and we start with the five senses navigating the whole planet, acquiring so much information during the imprinting period. And all that through 80 years, 90 years, 110 years, whatever our life. We have to balance everything. Everything is balanced. But we navigate with the five senses. The auditory, visual, the most important, that perceives all kind of images. Olfactory, the visual, the tactile, and the gustatory, the tongue. So all this in our brains gives you the information, and the brain processes it. But a lot of these sensors can be faulty. Something goes wrong with our senses. If we have problems with the eye, we cannot perceive the information correctly. If we don't hear right, we don't perceive the information. The taste is affected. The smell is affected. Just take some drugs. you see, take LSD, you see gods and all that. And they say if you have a schizophrenia, bipolar disorder, trauma, or pressure, too much salt in your system, all that affect the brain. Also viruses in our guts and bacteria can affect our thinking. We have 100 trillion viruses in our guts influencing our thoughts. So you have to keep that in mind. And many times our senses give you the wrong information. They actually enhance things. That's the reason you can have false memories. You try to remember something that happened in the past and you don't see correctly, and all the brain is trying to enhance and make it more nice and everything whatever you experience. So you invent things. The brain invents things and you think it's true, but it's not. So you have to ask people that were there to actually tell you the way you were thinking, because that can happen. So we have to remember that. So the brain is very complicated, but the brain is us, the universe inside of our skull that we create thoughts with. And And that's quantum thought that we have. In other words, past, present, and future are one. They exist in many places at the same time, and in a multiverse, and many times they don't exist. And that's beautiful because we control everything. We have the whole thing with our brains, and we are the creators. We're the true gods. People don't see it. With our thoughts, we can imagine. So we have to get education and information all the time to understand things. It's very, very important. Wow, retarded theist. Billions of neurons in the brain, the universe within, making you think. Hey, that's a fact. If it true hurts, too bad. For the deluded, very ignorant theist, you want to prove that God, an intelligent designer, exists? Okay, take some drugs, take some chemicals, alter your perception of reality, and see if you still believe that. You probably see angels. Get educated, idiot. And the Kalpun Piso of 2008 is completely correct. This is the Kalpun Piso of October 25th, 2016. 8 years later. But anyway, now I don't use the word retarded. I created a word theotarded. Theo means God or imaginary friend, and tardy means regress or delayed. So, theotardus or theotarded means delayed because of belief in imaginary friends of God, which is one of the schizophrenias, by the way. People don't understand that. But yes, the brain is the creator of the mind. And religious believers, the religious psychotics, they do not accept that. They all think that the mind is separate from the brain. Well, they're completely wrong, because operation in the brain and the lucus coeruleus and the precuneus, that can be correct. That the brain creates the mind. So a sick brain can only create sick thinking, sick mind. Religion is one of the schizophrenias. It's very simple. It's caused by a Borna virus, because we are all evolved mutated primates. We have the Borna virus in our genome. I have a hypothesis that it caused our evolution in lemurs, our ancestors, primates, over 48 million years ago. A perfect storm, many factors that affected a group of lemurs, which became us. They evolve. So we're all crazy primates. As long as we know what we are, then we are okay. Awareness is the key to our own sanity. We are only primate that can get so crazy with everything, with many things. So believing God is a psychosis. God is an imaginary friend. And we are all created by coitus, by an ejection of semen from a penis. So therefore, which grows and become, through a zygote and many mutations, become a primate, an evolved mutated primate, a human being, Homo sapiens. We are nothing but crazy ape. Let's accept it. And religious beliefs are a very dangerous HIV of the brain. And especially in churches, mosques, synagogues, and all that. And it could make our species extinct. That's what I say all the time in my videos. In 2010, was found out that lemur, 47 million year old lemur, was our relative. And the Borna virus in our genome. This is the reward system in the hippocampus. And it's all get affected when you have irrational beliefs. And these irrational beliefs are in religion are no different than the ones in schizophrenia. And these disorders make us believe in ancient aliens, in apparitions and demons, and religious delusions.
Stories reported each year by millions of ordinary, credible people.
Above us was a craft with a beam coming down. I could literally feel this warm beam shining down on us.
I saw this tunnel, like a dark tunnel with a light at the end of it. There was also a guardian angel that was there. To me, it seemed that it was like angel wings or something were right there, and the presence
I was in a car, a friend of mine was driving, she hit a fire hydrant, and I went through the windshield of the car, but I experienced it from the back seat. I watched myself leave the front seat and go through the windshield.
Fantastic.
Hey, deist. In just some peyote, you see angels, and you see the intelligent designer. Hey, look at what chemicals do to the brain. Check this out.
One of the women breaks away from the officer into the traffic and is hit by a lorry. Then her sister also runs
What drugs do to the brain? Just like believing God and psychosis.
Critical condition.
Hey, poor feeble-minded idiots that believe in intelligent designer. You know, we have a thyroid gland and we create God with the brain. Look at what happens. Take some drugs and see if the imaginary friend or your intelligent designer and God and other deluded things stop you from changing your thoughts and dreams. And the lunatics, the deluded folks, the intelligent designers that say irreducible complexity. The morons, they should just read a science book and get educated and go see a neurologist to fix their brains. See, they read only one book like this. And they try to translate things and they're totally deluded and very ignorant of the outside world because they look at everything with tunnel visions. That's the problem with the religious psychotic. And the brain HIV of God belief is always in blood. It's always fighting one religious psychosis fighting another religious psychosis. It's like Donald Duck fighting Mickey Mouse and the Tooth Fairy is the real God and so forth. They all kill each other. This idiot over here in the Philippines and in India, they believe in these all different gods. And they worship and they draw blood because they punish themselves for the God. So Christians do the same thing, Muslims do the same thing, Jews do the same thing with circumcision, and they're all psychotic people. Religion is a very dangerous neurological disorder and people don't seem to see it. Neuroscientists should equate religion to one of these schizophrenias. And I'm just giving you one very small example of the psychosis of religious beliefs. Also, they believe in intelligent designer nonsense. And you know, Calpun Piso 2008, tempora mutantur nosae mutamur in illis. Times change and we change with them. In other words, everything evolves. Look at this, I'm older now, I'm 8 years older. I'm 74 now, let's see. It looks very much the same because I control with my own brain, I control my whole system. So I age slowly, you know, it's a control. Genes help, but also my brain orders the body, control the body, tell it what to do, navigate the planet with the 5 senses. So when you know neurology, you know this, and you understand many things. I understand much more things that I knew eight years ago. We are all ignorant. We learn every day. We never stop learning. The only true thing that we know is that we know nothing. So we have to, life is interesting because you obtain a lot of information all the time. And we have to cogitate. We have to cogitate, connect, deduct, question, and then express. But we have to cogitate, we have to question things, we have to deduct, we have to connect. And then when we connect things and we question, we deduct, then we can express and we can arrive to the truth. So don't believe anything people tell you at all until you confirm it. 2 + 2 is 4. Not any number a Christianity infected or a religious psychosis infected brain tells you it is. Because, or a schizophrenic, because there's a religious schizophrenic, because they don't see their brains as malfunction. It's like a virus. It's a computer with a virus will not be able to tell you the right information. It's always distorted. And this is a fact, it is a truth, my friends. This is Scalpun Piso of October 25th, 2016. I hope you enjoyed the information. Keep the brain healthy, in other words, atheist, and learn as much as you can. Feed your brain. All the best.